Hello guys and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk a bit more in depth about what I think is actually going on and the direction that EA are attempting to take FC25 and FC in general into what I've seen over the years. And I think what's also important is gathering the feedback from you guys. If you can just let me know, what is the reason you play this game? And when I say that, I don't mean, just for fun. I mean, what is it you're doing? Why do you log on to this game every day? If you do, maybe you don't, let me know. And, what fulfillment are you currently getting out of this game? Do you enjoy what they're doing? With it being heavily menu stuff? Just let me know. But I'm going to tell you guys my opinion. Let's get into the video. If you need the cheapest FC25 coins to build your super team, then check out MMOEXP by clicking the link down below and use code JambooUK for 8% off. Okay, so I was just thinking about this the other night and I spoke about it a little bit on the stream about the sort of direction we're going in. And it just makes me sad, to be honest, because I remember a good 10 plus years ago now, even longer, in fact. I remember when I was in school, playing FIFA and Call of Duty was like the wave, of course. And when I say playing FIFA, I mean actually getting on and playing the football, mode in the game. That gameplay stuff that nobody wants to touch anymore. That was the fun part of the game. And I think what is really concerning is, like, the more I've thought about this and the more I look at what this game is, Visa actually did a really good video talking about this as well. And essentially what's happening is every single thing about this game is geared to keeping you on the menu. And it's a lot deeper than even just that. Like, when I think about, let's say even 6 or 7 years ago, you remember we had like FIFA 18, right? And you remember the Foot Champs rewards and stuff. You were rewarded heavily for playing the game. You had all the monthly reds, and even like the thing that actually blows my mind and the thing that leads me to think that EA actively do not want you in-game playing is the actual modes have gone backwards as well. If you remember the Foot Champs back in the day, there was a thing called like the Champs channel where you could go back after your Foot Champs and replay your games and analyze things in game. Really cool feature. It wasn't perfect the way it was implemented, but the idea is amazing. And they took that out and that never came back. They reduced the amount of games in Foot Champs. That never came back. They've watered down the rewards in Foot Champs. And it's just like the thing Visa said in his video was essentially the way this game is now, and he's spot on, by the way, is you're getting like these rewards and stuff for playing, but even though it's on paper, you look at it now and it's like you're getting all the promo cards and stuff, but the way this game is, everything is just like fodder price and stuff, right? So what ends up happening is it doesn't matter what you actually get in the rewards, it's just geared towards you having like fodder for the next SBC, to grind for the next pack, to get like the next dopamine hit. And every single thing they're doing seems to be veering you away from actually wanting to play the game. Like, it truly, more so than ever, has turned into like this menu pack simulator. Like, you think about all the issues we have with the gameplay and stuff, right, that winds everyone up. Is that a way of getting people on the menu? Genuinely, that's crossed my mind. Like, I don't know, maybe that's too far. Like, are we actually being given this poor gameplay product to veer people onto here because you get frustrated with the game and then you end up sitting on the menu? Because the thing that baffles me is like the content, quote unquote, because to me it's not good content, just hammering out these packs and cards and stuff, but whatever, we'll call it the content. They're on point with that. 6 PM every day, there's something new. There's always something to do on the menus, whether it's like repeatable SBCs, whether it's some new objectives for completing certain amounts of SBCs. There's so much to do just sat on the menu. And then you get into an actual game, and yes, there's stuff like your rivals and your champs, but that's minimal, right? What ends up happening is most people are just sitting there until the weekend. They'll play their 15 games of champs. Used to be 40, by the way, so it was heavily gameplay orientated back in the day. Now 15 games. You fly through it. It doesn't mean much. You know, your rank used to mean something. You remember, like, gold, elite, all that stuff. People actually cared about it. They've now even reversed that. So it's just the boring rank 4, 3, 2. There's no real meaning to it. People are even giving away wins now because the way that the rewards are structured, like, you can afford to drop games. It's just like, it really, really does feel like it's just been geared and veered towards actively not playing the gameplay and just being sat on the menu. You know, you've got these daily login stuff. You've got countless different player SBCs. So much to do, you know, just sitting on the menu here. And then you think about what actual, like, gameplay rewards there are. And it's just bleak because you've got, like, your rivals, which, you know, you get a few wins and then you're done. You've got your champs once a week, which is the 15 games. A lot of people will just play to a certain rank and then give it up because there's no fun like in the gameplay. And instead of grinding for a few better packs, they would rather put themselves out the misery and just give away the rest of the games. It's just, it's actually crazy to think about. I think it's a real valid, you know, conspiracy that we're actually being drawn away from playing the game, and it really is turning into like this card collecting simulator, which for me, it's not what I want at all. It's not what I'd ever want for a football game. I want to be able to jump on here and actually just be playing football and enjoying that core aspect of it. And I really don't know where we go from here because it's never been more glaringly obvious to me what's going on. And it just seems that, because there should be so much more, right? Like, if you think about it, there should be, like, loads of tournaments. And there is the thing that EA have started to do with these cups, which a lot of people seem to not actually like. You know, where you get, like, a certain amount of wins and you get a guaranteed player. I personally think it's a brilliant idea. And I think more things like that should be encouraged. I think the more reason that people have to like want to actively get better and improve at the gameplay of a game, which it should always be about, by the way. Remember, this is a video game. This is not like some day trading stock market. Well, it is now, but it shouldn't be. Like, it should be about jumping on and actually playing football with your team. And all of the sort of upgrades and progression should be coming from gameplay, in my opinion. It should never be sat there spamming repeatable SBCs. At least in my... Maybe you think I'm wrong. Do let me know your opinion. But, yeah, I think it's just sad. You know, when I think about what we used to have, what FIFA used to be, which was about, you know, the gameplay, even the content. Like, it's just... Think back to the glory days. I don't know how many of you guys were around, but you had like KSI doing the pink slips and all that sort of stuff. And there is a place like for the pack content and for everything that's in the game. It's not that there's not a place for it. It's just I never feel like this menu stuff should be overshadowing actually jumping on and playing the football game for fun. And it's just scary to me, you know, as I said, when I think about how we've actually gone backwards and things from certain modes have been removed that were good features in the gameplay, it's just really concerning. You know, you've got Foot Draft, which is a gameplay orientated mode, which has not been touched for about 10 years and nobody uses it anymore. You had the Moments mode, which I thought was poor, to be honest, but that was focused purely on gameplay. Like training and getting better. They've actually just scrapped that altogether. And it's just mental. Like we're just in this cycle now of just constant menu action, which it's just not the game I was brought up on, and it's not the game that I want to be involved with, if that's the direction that it's going, like, to be completely honest with you. But I'm interested to hear your guys' opinion, and that's why I ask, you know, what are you doing on this game? Are you sitting there constantly logging in every day, doing these SBCs, and maybe you're having a good time? Or are you in the same boat as me, where you actually want the fundamental gameplay to be good, so that you can jump on it and sort of... What it's about to me is like getting your football fix without actually going out and playing football, you know? You want to load up, get your team together and win a few games like on the virtual pitch. That's what I think it's about. And we've never been so far away from that. You know, we're actually at the point where people dislike the gameplay so much that they actively try and avoid it. You know, giving away free wins, just sacking off champs altogether. And the thing that makes me sad, and I've said it before, is like I know the potential this game has. Like, this is the biggest video game for the biggest sport in the world. And the product that we're given is just so below par that it's painful. Really painful. And I feel like the community is being just manipulated, you know, into this constant cycle of store packs. And I just, yeah, it's just really sad. Like, I grew up at school, like, wanting to be this FIFA pro and stuff, and I managed to achieve it. And I'm happy for that. But it's just not the same game anymore that I grew up loving and like wanting to chase. And I still have a good time, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm in a blessed position. You know, I don't want to give the wrong message here. Like, what I do is brilliant. Like, I get to play video games for a living and it's all sweet. But obviously for me, on a personal level, my job would be a lot easier if I enjoyed it. And I think the request I'm giving, which is like just at least a basic level of fun gameplay and stuff to grind on the virtual pitch, I don't think it's a big ask. And we just seem to be veering further and further away from it. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think, of course, as always. Your opinion matters. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. A bit of a weird ranty video. Like, I didn't have a script for this, just talking, you know, straight from the chest. But let me know what you think. Leave a like if you made it this far. I'll catch you on the next one. And peace.